Well, the good news, Raven, no weather impacts out there on the roadways. That's some good news for all of our commuters. It's 6:01 on this Monday morning. Let's get you out the door on time. This is I-10 at Vets, and as you can see, volume's starting to pick up, but no real slowdowns, nothing that's going to really impact your Monday morning commute. But anything can happen, so let's stay tuned to it. Looking at the NO Metro, this is I-10 at Williams, I-610 at Canal Boulevard. I would say you have the green light all across the metro area so far this morning. Again, no crashes to report. That is fantastic news for our commuters. Going on over to the West Bank, that Crescent City Connection tower camera showing us still very light volume. I would say you have the green light if you're on the elevated West Bank Expressway or getting on the big bridge so far this morning. Your ferries are rolling. They are in service so far, so that's some good news for those folks. And looking at the drive times, everybody has the green light. They will start to get bumped up over the next hour, but for right now, things look really, really good out there, including on the big bridge. Now, if something does develop, I, of course, will push it to your phone through the WDSU News app. Much, Raven. 6:20 on this Monday morning. It's almost time for you to hit that road because in the next 40 minutes we will be in that prime time hour of commuting. Looking at mile marker 210 on the Bonnie Carey Spillway. This is the area right here is where I-55 southbound merges with I-10 eastbound, and we will likely start to see a little bit of a backup later on around 7. But I do have reports of a crash. This is the West Bank of St. Charles Parish, just west of Hahnville. It's reported as a serious accident on River Road heading eastbound. Now this actually was beginning to be a long line of red congestion. I think that has cleared up, but be prepared to see some delays if that's your normal route. Again, that's River Road heading eastbound. I was even seeing it here, but looks like that's cleared out. So that's some good news. I'm going to keep a close eye on it. Fingers crossed they're making some progress. I don't have any other reports of that crash to give you the extra information. But looking at the NO Metro, I-10 at Williams facing westbound, I-10 at Norman C. Francis, volume still very light at 621. And being that the sun is up now, I'm having a hard time even understanding the concept because when I look at cameras like the Claiborne flyover, typically I start to see a lot of heavy volume and slowdowns, but for right now the volume is still very light, averaging 35 miles an hour to get you around there. Drive times still look really, really good. When we get closer to 7, the drive times will start to get bumped up, but for right now things look really good out there. And Raven, I'm not trying to make her jealous at all, but I think this is a beautiful shot from the top of the Crescent City Connection Bridge, looking out over a clear sky and beautiful sunrise. It's 6:21. Again, as things develop, I'll be the first to let you know before you go, so stick with us right here on WDSU.
All right, Brandi B, appreciate you.
Yes, Raven, at 6:32, I do have a pretty big problem spot. Let me show it to you. First, starting off with a live look at I-310, US 61 in St. Charles Parish. I hardly ever show this area because they just don't see as much volume. But this morning, they do have reports of a serious crash. This is the west bank of the river in St. Charles Parish, just west of Hahnville. It's reported as a serious accident on River Road heading eastbound. Now, literally seconds before I walked back here on set, I was seeing a long line of red there on the map, indicating that there may be some congestion as a result of that. And I was also seeing some yellow down here as a result of people taking an alternate route. I think they may be making some progress because the congestion, the heavy volume that I was seeing as a result of that crash is no longer being reported on the map. Unfortunately, I don't have a camera, so I can't show it to you, but I will keep a close eye on it for you. Looking at the NO Metro, I-10 at Williams, already starting to see some backups, and you see it right here. It'll clear up right when you get past Vets. I-610 at Canal Boulevard, free and clear. Just a whole lot of sunshine out there on the roadways. Drive times look okay. I told you they would start to get bumped up, and if you're driving in from Laplace this morning, make sure you know that the drive time is starting to get bumped up. I'll start to give you some delay times in just a minute, but I-10 at Norman C. Francis, I want you to know that there's a truck there on the far right shoulder, but it's not in the lane of travel, so I don't think it's going to impact anything. I'll be back in a few minutes with much more.
All right, Brandi, thank you.
6:49, and I've got a couple of problem spots. First, I'm looking off at mile marker 210 on the Bonnie Carey Spillway. I told you right where I-55 southbound merges with I-10 eastbound, we would start to see some volume, some delays, and that's exactly what I'm seeing. Looking at the Bonnie Carey Spillway, I-10 eastbound, already seeing some backups, as you can see here at mile marker 210. It'll clear up when you get past it on mile marker 218. So it does clear up, but if you're driving in from Laplace, you want to add some extra time. And if you're going from Kenner to Metairie, you need to add almost 10 minutes. Again, that's a typical problem spot. I do have a crash though. That crash is on Gentilly Boulevard heading southbound near Ponce de Leon Street. I'm not seeing as much congestion on Gentilly Boulevard, but be prepared if you see some flashing lights in the area. Looking at the NO Metro, I-10 at Williams, almost at a snail's pace. I'm going to double check to make sure there's nothing going on. This is just our typical heavy volume. As you see, it will clear up when you get past Vets, but boy, oh boy, is it backed up. I-610 at Canal Boulevard is rolling smoothly so far this morning. Drive time starting to become a mixed bag again from Kenner to downtown. That's a typical problem spot there in Kenner. It should clear up volume-wise when you get into Metairie. But coming out of I-10 East, out of New Orleans East on I-10 westbound, this is Chef Mentor Highway, and as you can see, they're already seeing that pickup of volume, and they are slowing down a bit. It's 650 as things things develop, I'm going to continue to keep a close eye on it for you, but it's almost time for you to hit the road on this Monday morning. So much, Raven. 6:55, and I do still have reports of that crash on Gentilly Boulevard heading southbound near Ponce de Leon Street. Now, I'm, again, not seeing congestion delays from there, but I'm seeing congestion and delays pretty much everywhere else. Looking at the Bonnie Carey Spillway where I-55 southbound merges with I-10 East, you're seeing some heavier volume. It clears up when you get past it at mile marker 218. So one end, you're seeing some slowdowns, but it'll clear up and average 65 miles an hour going across the spillway this morning. Looking at the NO Metro, I-10 at Williams, seeing heavy backups. It will clear up when you get past Vets and Metairie. I-610 at Canal, seeing nothing but sunshine. Drive times are a mixed bag, and they're starting to get bumped up because we are approaching that prime time hour of commuting. And then taking a live look outside at I-55 and Manchac Tower. I did see a fisherman's boat there, but there's no one in the water for us this morning. Just a beautiful fall shot over I-55 at Manchac.
Listen to people.